YouTube. It's your boy, Mr. GDK, Trust Talk Podcast in the building. Thank y'all for being with me. Thank y'all for stopping by. And as always, welcome. We have finally made it to the episode of episodes. Yeah, we finally here. We made it. We done made it. It's been a process to get to this episode for me. It's been a real process. It's been a real mental grind. But I like to welcome everybody that watches. Welcome to the knowing versus the culture. That's what I call this episode. For us that know and understand, the reason why I call it the knowing versus the culture, because us that know, there is a big consequence for the actions that we take if we make the decision to start living in a different context for ourselves. The culture is just what it is. Everybody see what this culture is. Everybody see what's going on in this culture. We all see it. So I call it the knowing versus the culture. And we were going to tackle some topics in this culture that it's going to be very interesting, and I like it. It's going to be one that I like. I like this one. This is going to get good. I like it though. But for disclaimers first, let me get to it. For disclaimers first, this topic will cover single men and women and married couples as well. And disclaimer again, this does not include every married couple and every single man and women. This topic will touch on a very distinguished group of single men, women, and marriages. It definitely will. So let's get into it. So, all right, man. The first thing I want to talk about is what's going on in this culture, which I know everybody's been talking about, is the term that women like to call themselves the bad B. I'm not going to say the word because it's a very derogatory statement and I don't like the word. So in short, I'm going to use the word that I believe also is used in its place, baddie. Yeah. So I'm going to go with baddie. So when y'all hear me say baddie, it refers to the term bad B. We know what type of woman this is. This woman says a man has to bring everything to the table in order for him to get access to her. Everything. That means he has to be willing to pay the way. In a general sense, she wants this man to support the lifestyle that she wants.
Money, please. My money.
That's all this means. She wants the man to support the lifestyle. She wants the man to support every single thing. Everything is transactions. Everything is transactional with her. Just being honest. We know what it is. We have seen videos, contents, podcasts, TikToks, whatever you want to call it, where these women consider themselves the baddie, wants everything to be transactional. And then when you ask them what they bring to the table, I bring myself. Or I bring, as in today's culture, they call it the box, which is about the weirdest term, but whatever. They bring themselves. That's it. That's what they bring. And before I really get into my spiel and really start to pull the curtain back to let some of this light shine on what's going on, man, I'm just wondering, like, when has it become transactional in relationships? Now, I understand that, like I said, money is important. Money is definitely important. I understand that. But when has it become so transactional for women and men to interact with each other? When has it become so transactional? It's mind blowing to me because I do not understand for the life of me that a guy approaches a woman and he may not know that she may consider herself to be a baddie, but she wants everything transactional, meaning he has to pay the way. He has to pay the way. And it's just odd to me. I'm like, I know I'm an older gentleman and thank God I ain't got to be out here dealing with none of that. Even if I was a single guy, I definitely wouldn't under no circumstances at all. I'm not, no, whatever. No, I ain't paying nothing. But I don't get this. I don't understand it. I don't understand why everything has become transactional. I don't understand it at all. It is just crazy to me. So now I'm finna really get into what's going on. And also for the gentleman out there
Don't you do it! Don't!
who uses their monetary stature and they want to be that gentleman or that guy that pays the way, that pays for everything for the woman and is willing to do it, and that's how they move. That means that they use the monetary tool as a power move for them. And those type of guys are out there that does that. We're gonna get on those. We're gonna get on those gentlemen too. So let me really, really, and I'm gonna do my absolute best, like I always do, to back up what I'm saying with scripture. Oh, absolutely, I am. I'm not just gonna just go fumbling and talking. Oh no, 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 no. I'm gonna do my absolute best to back up things. I'm gonna do my absolute best to back up everything I say with scripture. Absolutely. Um, let me give you some insight to what the perverse one does. And this is now this when I say this is just me um thinking before I really dive in and get into scripture. The devil uses three, three things on his chessboard in this world to influence people, especially young, naive, and simple-minded youth. You can put these three in any, in any spot that you want, but these three are his three main power moves that he used on the chessboard against us. And the first one is power. Yeah, he uses power because hey, everybody likes power. Power is just another form of being in control, being dominant. He uses power. Second one is money. And we all know money is a big influence. And that third one is sexual immorality. He used it. Look at our culture today and look at the content, look at the things on our that are being shown on television, music, movies, money, sex, and power. Those three will always be his main chessboard movers in this world to trip us up as individuals. Always. Just like I said, you can look at your music, you can look at your television content, you can even look at some of this content on these platforms, TikTok and all the others. Hell, don't even get me started with OnlyFans now. Like it is absolutely the three that he uses. I had a fourth, and normally my fourth would be substance or drugs, but it's it's kind of hard now because you get to thinking, social media may have eclipsed that one. But the three for sure, money, power, sex. He definitely used those to trip people up. He is going to always use those to trip up young, simple-minded individuals. He always, because everybody wants money. Sex always sells. Sex is a big influence. And who doesn't want power, especially money and power? Those two are holding hand companions. So those are his big three to me. This is my personal opinion. Those are his big three to me. Now, let me get this off my screen. Please move. Um, Now, for those who watch my content, please, if you got, young daughters, young sons that are getting to that age where you are not going to be able to always protect them and cover them, sit them down. Cause I'm really, really finna get into what is really going on in the culture. And I'm finna give you some knowing from from the Bible, from God's word, straight up. So any woman that is willing to make herself transactional to the man and she wants her lifestyle supported, she want this done, she want that done, you don't get no access to her without showing her that you have the finances to do it, and she is willing to just give you all access to her, And I mean all access. And if you know what I mean, that's from time, um, sex, all of it. If she's willing to do that and she's just being transactional like that, the Bible called that woman a strange woman. Got some more names for her. She can be the adulteress. The Bible even says the whorish woman.
Why are you asking her? She ain't never made a man wait 30 minutes.
Do I smell a whore?
Or the third, but not but these are all technically the same woman. The wording is just interchangeable. So I'm just gonna put them in tiers. But the most diabolical one is the harlot. Oh yeah, dead serious. And for young men out there that watch it, if you get to watch this content, you get to watch this video, I suggest you stay away from this woman. She she runs game in a way that you will never be able to eclipse her. She has real game. She has the looks to back it up. I'm telling you, you will never be you cannot a lot of guys when when a woman that looks as good as this woman approached them, they think that they really got her. No. She coming after you for a specific reason, for a very specific reason. And I hope that, you know, young men out there, older men, married men, you know, can really see through her approach. Because a lot of times, men, we don't. And when she gets a hold to you, she will mess up your life. This is why I said in my previous videos, when it came to communication and intimacy, to guard your undefiled marriage bed. Because when communication and intimacy break down and couples drift apart, and then y'all start drifting real further apart, and I told you, the devil will tempt you for your incontinency. He will tempt you. Fellas, you will run into this particular version of the woman. Ladies, you will run into the particular version of the man that is willing to, you know, woo you, I guess, as you can say, or give you the attention that you need, give you the attention that you need, pay for this, and, just be nice, super generous. Got to pay attention. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. It's very dangerous. So that's why I said we're gonna get into this topic today. It's gonna be real today. And if this topic, if what I'm saying, other people get to see it and get mad, well, you can get mad, but I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna do my best to back up everything that I'm saying with scripture. Absolutely. So if you get mad at what I'm saying, pick you up a Bible and you can read it for yourself. And this word been here before I was born, and this word will be here after I'm dead and gone, because it already has, and it hasn't changed. So I'm gonna switch to my other view, and we're gonna get into some scriptures in a few seconds. But like I tell, I'm really want to right now point at my guys first, especially to my young guys, young married men, young single men. Yo, please, please, I'm telling you, you can't deal with this woman, man. This woman is very, very smooth with her game, and I'm gonna let you see it for yourself. Let me switch my camera view. All right, I'm over here now. Okay, so let's get into chapter 5 of Proverbs. Yeah. So check out. We're gonna start at verse 2. We're gonna start at verse 2. And it says, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thou lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Fellas, I already know what that statement can make some fellas think in their mind. I'm gonna repeat that again so you can hear that. This is from the Bible. And her mouth is smoother than oil. You ain't got to make no statement. I already know what you're thinking. I would say it, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna stay appropriate. Yeah, I'm gonna stay very appropriate. Yeah. Her mouth is smoother than oil. Okay. But check this out. Check out the next verse. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Mm-mm-mm. Least thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, this woman is smooth. And I don't think now one of y'all fellas out here, your mouth is smooth as oil. Not even close, player. This woman is dangerous because she knows exactly how to get you. She knows. She knows. And a lot of guys be like, man, whatever. Okay. That's why you see a lot of guys, you know, and you see them, they be going through it with a woman. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, because this type of woman got a hold of you. Just keeping it 100. But we ain't done. We ain't done. I believe I'm finna get to chapter 6. We ain't done. We ain't done. Oh no. No. But now I want to read something because this woman moves just like it says. She moves very different. Like I says, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Okay. So I'm gonna read something from my study Bible. And it's a very, very important breakdown. Very important breakdown. Um, and it covers verses 9 through 14. But check this out what it says. It says the price of unchastity is imminence, the loss of wealth, the loss of health, a possible reference to venereal disease, and self regret. God tells the believer ahead of time what he will say if he gets involved in this sin. Hmm. I want to stress one part of this statement of this breakdown. Let me say this again. I want to stress this part very, very hard. It says the loss of wealth, the loss of health. This is the part. A possible reference to a venereal disease. Didn't it just tell you that thou doesn't can't know, thou don't know her ways? Her ways are movable, and you don't know them. This woman is look dangerous, absolutely dangerous. But we ain't done. Let me get over here to chapter 6. Yeah. I want to get over here to chapter 6 real quick. Let me move here to chapter 6. Boom. All right. And I want to get down to chapter 6 till about verse. We're going to start at 23. Yeah, let me scroll on down. There it is. Yeah. I'm going to start at 23. I should have started before, but I want to start at 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instruction are the ways of life. Check this out. Keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Check it out. We're going to keep it going. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Ooh, didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say they got real? Check me out. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Really? Now you see why some of y'all guys, these women got y'all running around here and you don't know how to get your mentality together because she feeding off you, not from a necessarily from a monetary standpoint. She feeding off your energy. She draining the life out of you and you don't even understand. You don't understand. Let me switch back to my other view real quick. Yeah, let me switch back to this camera. Now, ladies, I'm gonna come for the fellas too, but right now, fellas, gotta pay attention because this culture is teaching, you know, it's teaching something that is very, very dangerous. And it's also gonna let me break down another scripture in this in a little bit more in this video about, you see a lot of these ladies now, they wondering why they can't, wondering why, ain't no good man left, or, a man won't marry them. They want to be married and this and that, they done had they fun and calmed down. Now, they ready to settle down and be wives, so to say. Okay. Got something for you, men and women, for some of the reasons why some of you may have lost that opportunity for real marriage. But that's not to say you can't get married, but I'm talking about a real marriage where God is truly, where God is truly in the center of your marriage. And he is doing his part while you are doing yours, you and your husband, to keep the marriage together. Yeah. I'm gonna break that. I'm gonna get to that too. But fellas, this is why I say you will never be able to deal with this woman. You may think you can because everything is going the way that you like with her. But as I always said, once you open Pandora's box with this type of woman, you don't get to close it. In a general sense, what I'm saying is once you involve yourself with this particular woman and you involve yourself sexually with her, you don't get to control her response if you try to cut her off. You don't. You don't get to control the response. Not at all. Hate to tell you that, but you don't. It's real out here. That's why I said, do you really know? Do you really know what's going on with this culture? Yeah. That's why I said this is the knowing versus the culture, because this culture will mess up your life. But we not done. We not done. Like I said, the worst version of this particular woman is the harlot, because she's married
We'll make that whore my wife.
and she's looking to prey on young men while she has the good men and he's gone and he's gone off. She's preying on the young men, and she has slain many strong men. And I'm gonna take you to the verses to let you see it for yourself. I'm gonna take you to the verse to let you see it for yourself. We're gonna go right over here to chapter 7. Oh, dun 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 dun. Here we go. So check that out. In the Bible, the crafty harlot. Oh yeah, I told you. Mm-hmm. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones, I discerned among the youth a young man void of understanding, passing through the streets near her corner. Whoa. Future wasn't the first one to tell y'all she for the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
The Bible told you, telling you right here. Passing through passing through the streets near her corner. And he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle, and subtle of heart. This word right here, subtle. This is dangerous. This is why this woman is very, very dangerous. And men, this is why you need to stay away from this woman. And I'm finna show you why it's dangerous, why this woman is absolutely dangerous. Watch where this word subtle show up at. Yeah, give me that Genesis 3, chapter 3, verse 1. This was right after Adam and Eve was in the garden. God had put them in the garden, and husband, and it said husband and wife were together, and they was naked and not ashamed. And look who shows up, 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And this when he started to beguile the woman. So the serpent approach to the woman is the same approach that she is using, the harlot woman is using towards the man. The same approach. Where you think she got it from? I ain't got to make it up. It's right here. I ain't got to make it up. Let me go back. Just to let you, I want you to see it. It's right there. Now, I'm going to go right back to Proverbs. Chapter 7. I think I was at verse 10. Or close to it. Yeah, there we go. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart, conniving, deceiving. All the words that you can think of. That's her approach. Check out the next verse. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an imprudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day I have paid my vows. Okay. Therefore came I forth to meet thee diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my bed with covering of tapestry, and carved the works with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloe, and cinnamon. Come, let us feel of love, until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. Check this out. This is where it gets bad. And I'm sorry, good man. I truly, truly am, because I know this has happened to a lot of good dudes out here trying to hold the fork down, working hard, being the providers, you know, you know, just trying to do what the man is supposed to do. And then, like I said, taking it all on without anything in return. And look what happens. For the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He have taken a bag of money with him, and he will come home at the day appointed. I'm sorry. And she calls him to yield with her fair speech. And I'm abbreviating now because this is a lot. I'm trying to move through it. So with her fair speech, she calls him to yield with the flattering of her lips. And check this out. She forced him. Whew. And you thought you had her. I'm gonna skip down a couple of verses and listen to, and I want to get to I want to get down here, right here. Yeah. Let not thy heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. Check this out. For she has for she has cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. For her house, I'm sorry, yeah, her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. I have to move this up some, but y'all can't see this. But that's verse 27. Let me see, can I make this move real quick? Move it up. Yeah, there go verse 27 right there. Yeah. For her, yeah, her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. That's why I say that woman, let me switch back over real quick. Can't deal with that woman. And she's married. This is the married version of these women. See, you got them single and married. For all you single guys out there that's dealing with these type of women, because she's smooth, she ain't gonna let you know that she's the immoral woman, the strange woman, the whorish woman. See, a lot of them, not all. That's why I'm saying I'm being Pacific, because I don't want, think I'm trying to categorize every woman. But a lot of these women that's calling themselves baddies and wanting everything to be transactional with a man, she ain't looking for love. She letting you know what she look for. As long as you transactional, she is going to give you what you want. But be careful. I already read that breakdown in chapter 5 over verse 9 and 14, talking about you can lose your health, your wealth, possibility of a venereal disease, which is a STD. You know, because you look, you don't know her ways. You don't know what she doing when she ran. You don't know what she has done when she has ran up on you. You don't know what she has done. So I suggest young men in general, single men, married men, stay away from this. Stay away from this particular woman. Stay away from the version of these women, because they are dangerous. They're dangerous. The Bible clearly says it right here. But now, for young women, that don't understand what's going on in the culture. Do not, I repeat, do not let um this culture brainwash you. Do not let this culture beguile you to think that you need to operate that way to get what you want. Hold, understand, ladies, because I'm a person, I don't have daughters, but I have nieces, I have young relatives, I have very, very close um, relatives, cousins that like we're literally like brothers. We stay in contact with each other, we encourage each other, you know, love each other, help each other out when one of us have fallen. Like we are that close. And a lot of them have daughters. One has a daughter, another year getting out of high school. One has a daughter that's, getting ready to hit high school. So I have a niece that's 20. So I don't want none of them taking in any BS information in this culture, telling them that they need to consider themselves to be a baddie at all. That ain't how no young woman that ain't how no young woman carry herself at all. Period. And for women out here, for the women out here that's teaching these younger women this nonsense, I'm gonna let you know, you will be held accountable for your actions. There are consequences to every action. And I'm not above this statement. If I do dumb things, I'm gonna get dumb results. Everybody, including myself, reap what we sow. No one, not including myself, is above that statement. No one. No one. Everybody. As long as you are born and you will live, you will die. And everybody, whether they believe it or not, will reap what they sow. Everybody. So if you out there teaching young women that they need to be baddies and that they need the girl, if he ain't got no money, you don't give him nothing. You don't give him access to you. You don't give him no sex. If you giving young women game like that, what goes around comes around. And I'm just keeping it 100. So young ladies, please don't involve yourself with women like this. And I'm finna give you some real, and like I said, I'm finna get to a verse I'm finna get to the breakdown of one of these verses and show you why. Now, young ladies, do not deal with the man that will approach you and he is willing to pay for every single thing, every single time y'all are go somewhere, y'all hanging out, y'all on a date, because you're not you. And I'm talking about for the women that do not act like the baddie. I'm talking about for the normal women, young women out here that, maybe out here in the dating scene, just trying to date a guy, get to know a guy. You do not listen. Do not, under no circumstances, deal with the guy who uses his monetary power to try to influence you. You may think that is cool, but the reason why a man does this and he will do it all the time is because that's what he's used to doing. If he's always used to paying and is just willing to pay because he wants to get closer to you, and closer to you, that ain't the type of guy that you want to be necessarily involving yourself with. Because if those are his characteristics, that means he's been dealing with women that has been giving him access whenever he pays. Because who let me say it like this. Everybody wants what they pay for. I don't care who they are. If I go to the store and I spend $100 on something, I want exactly what I paid for with my $100. So if a guy is always paying for this for you, paying for food, paying your rent, paying for your nails done, paying to get your hair done, paying to, buying you this, buying you that, whatever the case may be, he's gonna want what he's paying for. And he's gonna do and guess what? He's gonna do his absolute best to get it, especially if he's paying. And that's anybody. Everybody wants what they pay for. Just keeping it 100. Because a lot of times he's been dealing with women like that. And that puts men, some, not all. If they've been dealing with women like that and getting access to, getting the access they want to the women, sex whenever they want to the women, because they've been paying for everything, that's typically leans in the category of being a whoremonger, a promiscuous man. And and I can pull that up and let Google and do the definition, and Google will let you know. Just to let you. Matter of fact, I'll do it just to let me see. Can I make it work right like I did last time? Just to let people know that I'm not making this up. I got a small screen here, so y'all, I don't want it to overtake my whole screen. Yeah, see, I already had the word save. Boom. Look at this. So it says a person who has dealings with prostitutes, but we ain't gonna worry about that word. Especially a what? Promiscuous man. Later. I ain't make that up. I ain't make that up. I ain't make it up at all. Because those men deal with those type of women. They want the easy access. They're not looking for relationships. They're not looking to get to know you, but they don't mind wooing you and going in their wallet and paying for everything. A lot of girls be saying, "Oh, I don't want no broke man." Let me tell you something. Just because a man don't want to pay for everything don't mean he's broke. I know men I'm talking about I'm very close to. Talking about brotherly love close to. You guys make over $100,000, over 100,000 a year, over 120,000, over 130,000, over 150,000 a year. Ladies, these men work sometimes 14, 15, 16, 17 days in a row, 12-hour shifts. And do you think these caliber of men are finna just when they off come look for you and all the hard work they've been doing, they just finna throw their money at you? Yeah, right. You don't know real men. Real men don't do that. Don't know real men who works like that to make that type of money is finna just take their money and throw it at you. I'm talking about, man, these guys, if somebody makes a mistake on their job, they don't get to come home. It's over with for them. Somebody makes the wrong mistake, not even in their department. If somebody makes the wrong mistake in their department, it's a very good chance them guys don't get to come home. Somebody be making a phone call to their family. Them guys do not do not work like that, make that type of money just so when they get the time to themselves is to throw it away at trying to, as the culture like to say, trick off on the woman. Them guys don't do that. Them guys hold themselves to a different caliber. I can assure you on that because don't no guy works 16, 17 days in a row straight to make that type of money just to be throwing it away just for just for sex from a woman. Just for she can she can look like a trophy piece on his arm. No, men do that for wives, wives, real God fearing wives, not just no any woman. And I'm keeping that a buck. I'm keeping that 100. But with I'm just being serious. But now I'm finna show you. I'm finna break down a scripture why a lot of men and women who get out here and they move like this, why then when especially for women, because I always feel women are the ones who really want to be married. I truly believe over 90% of women want to be married. I truly believe that because I am a firm believer in don't nobody wants to die alone. I don't believe nobody wants to die alone. I truly don't. I don't believe nobody wants to die alone. I definitely don't. Just being honest. Excuse me. Now I have wife and kids, but you know, my wife comes before my two boys. So in my mind, I want God to take me first, not my wife. And if that's the case may be, then I want my wife right there by my bedside, if that's how I go. And I truly believe that anybody, that wants real love in their life, they don't want to die alone. Just being honest. But a lot of women and men who have been out here living these type of lifestyles, moving this type of way, because a lot of them, we see some of the stuff that goes on with some of these celebrities and NBA players and NFL players and rap artists and R&B and all this stuff. We see what goes on. I didn't got to go all into no specifics. Everybody see it. But let me show you what happens. Even for people that are, even for, young men and women that are out here living a normal life, when you get to moving like this, when you get to being, when you get to, being sexually active, you know, here and there, tying yourself to people, let me show you what you really do. Because once you get older in life, and now you're saying that, you want to be married and do this, have family and stuff like that. I'm finna read something to you that really gonna make you step back and be like, I didn't know that. But okay. Let me see, can I find it? Let me see, can I find it? Let me see, can I find it? Oh yeah, right here in my hand. Now, I hope I can get this to turn, but I'm gonna read it first and then I'm gonna turn it to my camera. All right, so it's in, I'm still in Proverbs, still in chapter 7, where it talks about the crafty harlot. But it breaks this down. It says, I'm gonna start it. It starts breaking down in verse 20, right after verse 22. And I'm gonna read it all the way through. It says, since the father realizes that sons could yield to the same temptation, meaning from the woman, he admonishes them to protect their heart or mind before the time of temptation occurs. Now, pay attention to this part. The destiny of those who commit such a sin is death. Now, right here, or else a missing out on the real joy of married love, the real intimacy and pleasure that God intends in the marital act is forfeited in the adulterous relationship. Oh, wow. Did you know you forfeited that when you start dealing and you start just laying around with individuals? You didn't know that you forfeited that, did you? You didn't know that you gave that up. Y- I ain't got to make it up. I ain't finna make it up. Let me see, can I get it to show in my study Bible? Let me see. Right there after that word death, look at what it says. See, the destiny of those who commit such a sin is death, or else a missing out on the real joy of married love. The real intimacy and pleasure that God intended in the marital act is forfeited in the adulterous relationship. That is why some of you who want to be married, but yet you may have previously lived a certain lifestyle or you've been in the culture, you forfeited that. That don't mean you can't get married. But what I'm telling you is your marriage will be missing that real essence of what God intended for the marital space. That's why you see a lot of some of these entertainers say they'll never get married because because they done been with so many different women that they have forfeited what God had truly intended for marriage. The real joy, the real intimacy of what marriage is. You forfeited it. I ain't got to make it up. Right here in this study Bible, I ain't got to make it up. You forfeited it. You didn't want it. You threw it away. And now you see a lot of women out here. You see a lot of women out here on these podcasts, on these TikToks, making videos, wondering why they won't get they can't they can't find a husband because a lot of you, not all, because I don't want nobody to think that I'm just coming at every woman and men too. A lot of you men, that's what this is the reason why. This is the reason why you won't get married. Even if you do get married, your marriage is going to be missing out on the true essence and intimacy of what it is with God in marriage. And in order to get that back, whew, Better get ready to get to work. And you finna have to do some you finna have to do some work that, as I like to say, a lot of individuals don't want to do. A lot of individuals don't like putting that type of work in. But I bet you didn't know that you forfeited it, that though, did you? Some of you thought I was gonna make some of this. You thought I was gonna make this up. Oh no, I wasn't gonna make this up. I was gonna keep it a buck with you. Keep it all the way 100 with you. This is why young married couples, young single men, women, pay attention. You do not want to get out here in this culture now knowing the stuff that I'm saying, because I'm not, like I said, I was going to do my absolute best to back this up with scripture. Now, the knowing what's going on. Yeah, knowing what's going on in this culture, you didn't know that you may have forfeited what marriage, the whole principle of marriage really is, when you have been out here and, you know, being with a guy here, a guy there, just having fun, living your life. Now you done got it all out your system, and now you want to slow down, be married, and have the whole family in the shaboing. And God to be like, what habits have you learned out there moving like that translate to marriage? That's what God is saying. What habits have you learned out here in this culture translate to having me in the center of a marriage? Because everything that you've been doing does not translate. He would tell that to me. GDK, what makes you think being not here in this culture, being a whoremonger of a man, now you want to try to now you want to find a wife? How did that translate to you being a husband and being submissive to what I want you to be, as in laying down your life for the betterment of the wife in your marriage in the way that I want you to do? How does those qualities that you've been out here in the streets doing translate to marriage? They don't. So guess what? I don't, from a character standpoint, I wouldn't have nothing to bring to a marriage if I was out there living like that. I have nothing to bring to a marriage. Everything that I could, if I was out there living like that, that's why I say I hold myself accountable. If I'm out there living like that, and then I want to jump from out there being married and try to bring my qualities to the marriage table, I'm bringing straight trash. Trash. Because I forfeited I what I had, I forfeited. When you forfeit something, you gave it up. You didn't want it. This is why, for married couples, it is the most important, because you're in a situation now where your bed is undefiled. Do not forfeit your undefiled marriage space. Don't do it. Do not be beguiled. Do not be tricked. Do not be hoodwinked. Do not be bamboozled. Whatever the words that they use, don't let it happen. This is why I said in my previous video, when it came to communication and intimacy, put on the whole armor of God and protect your marriage bed and protect that space where your communication and intimacy grow. Because this culture and what it is teaching individuals is garbage. The garbage so bad they wouldn't even pick it up outside of my house on Tuesdays and Fridays. That's how bad. That's how much garbage it is. It's that bad. It's defiled, rotten. They can't even pick it up, take it nowhere. Take it to the field and burn it. That's what this culture is teaching young men and women. Exactly what it's teaching them. Man got to bring everything to the table in order for him to get access to you. In that case, then, how many times you been bought? Ooh, my bad. Let me calm down. Don't start cooking, Mr. GDK. Don't start cooking, because I'm warming up like some fresh grease for some catfish. I'm starting to warm up and I'm starting to bubble a little bit. But how many times you been brought? Seriously. If the man has to bring everything to the table, how many times have you been brought? The real question is, why are you still single? Mm. But I'm gonna leave that right there, though. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. I ain't gonna work on it no more. I ain't gonna work on it no more. I ain't gonna work on it no more at all. I'm gonna leave it just like it is. Leave it just like it is. That's why It is important to do not follow this culture. Young women, young men, look, men that's close to my age or my age, don't fall for it. Women, because I know this is way strong with women. Not like I said, I know women want to be married. Most women want a real marriage. If you want a real marriage, then I suggest you do not follow this culture. If you a single woman, young or middle-aged single woman, maybe younger than me, then I suggest, like I always say, you better get around a couple that has been married that can show you some things. And if you think that I'm not, even if you think that I'm making this up, I'm gonna take you to another book in the Bible real quick. Let me get back. Now, where is it at? I know you down here somewhere. There we go. Book of Titus, chapter 2. We can start at verse 1. Close. This book right here really kind of holds the older couple responsible. The older couple responsible that are married to teach the ones that are younger and beneath them how it should go. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged man be sober, grave, tempered, sound in faith and charity, in patience, that the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior and become holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine. Uh-oh. Whew. Teachers of good things. Check this out. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husband, to love their children. Let me go back. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Young men likewise exhort to be sober minded in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrine showing uncorruptedness, gravity, and sincerity. Do I need to keep reading for you? Hmm? Sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil things to say of you. You can read this. It's a very short chapter, but it's telling you right. Look, get around those who have been married, that know what it is, that can give you real game on how to stay married. That's why I say I'm gonna do my absolute best to back up what I said with scriptures. Get around those older couples. That's why I say I try to stay around older couples that have put their work in, know what it's like, have seen the treacherous roads that has came up when hell has literally came to their front door, and the devil tried to kick their door down with hell right behind him. God stood right there and made them to back up, and because they was doing what they were supposed to be doing, defended their marriage. Those are the type of couples you want to hang around. Straight up. Let me switch back. So, with that being said, finna get ready to wrap this up. This culture I can't stand this culture. I can't stand it because what it is teaching, what it is showing, what it is doing, and perverting the minds of young men and women is it really bothers me. It bothers me so much. It really does. It just rubs me the wrong way, especially for women to think that everything needs to be transactional. Like I don't, like I said, I don't even understand that. When the guy first met you, he wasn't. He wasn't transactional when, like, if a guy approach you and be like, "Hey, how you doing? I thought you was beautiful. My name is such and such. May I know your name?" Like, what's transaction? Why does he need to be transactional in his approach to you? When a guy first meets you, he ain't paying for nothing. Ain't you paying your own rent if you live on your own? Ain't you buying your own groceries? Aren't you paying your own electric? Aren't you paying your own car note? Aren't you paying your own car insurance? Are you putting gas in your own car? That person is doing the same thing. So why would you expect that person to approach you, man, a man to do that? And if a man expecting a woman to do that, I mean, I don't know why, but why would you expect the other person to approach you and you try to throw all that on their plate and you don't even know them? Some of y'all think y'all know persons after 4, 5, 6 months. No, you don't. But you expect that person to finance your lifestyle in the way that you want to live. That ain't how it works. This makes absolutely no sense to me. But hey, what do I know? A lot of people don't care what the Bible say. A lot of people don't respect what the Bible say. Cool. You ain't got to. If you don't like us, and if you don't like this, you can go find. Look, there's plenty of other podcasts out here. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about who likes this or I mean who don't likes this or whatever. Me and my 9 subscribers that watch my content would be absolutely fine, because what I will not put out is some nonsense or some rhetoric to back up this culture. I will not do it. Nope. I ain't supporting this trash at all. And for young men and women out there, don't support this nonsense either. Because what will happen is, if you get out here thinking, young women, that you think you can be a baddie, young men, if you are financially sound and well rounded, do not sit around here and support these women that will approach you and want you to do everything for them, and what they're gonna give you is return just to lay on their back or lay on top of you. Or we already know what the rest they can do. No, do not do that, because you will forfeit. Like I always say, when the streets come calling and it wants due payment and you cannot make the payment, you will forfeit something much greater. And a lot of individuals have forfeited the true essence of the marital act, just as this Bible said. You forfeited it. And then when you get older, you're going to want it back. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. The knowing versus the culture. So, man, look, that being said, it is your boy, Mr. GDK. I truly, truly appreciate, anybody that, like I said, listen to what hear my perspective and hear where I'm coming from. Um, to any of my family members that is watching, any of my content, please sit down with my nieces, nephews, my young cousins, whether you have, you daughters and sons, please sit them down, let them see this. Because this culture that is outside is not what they think it is. It is a lie. It is the biggest lie that is being told to the generation that is right underneath us. It is the biggest lie, and it will leave their life in shambles. And then they'll be looking up when they get older, wonder why their life is in shambles. Because this culture ain't nothing but the work, of the evil one, man. Money, power, sex. It is number 3. Is the 3 things on his chessboard, and I just covered all 3 of them in this episode of how he uses them in the culture. You do not want this culture to get a hold. You do not want this culture to get a hold to young men and women, especially if for those out here who got young daughters. Because I can guarantee you, any man out there that has like I said, I got 2 sons. But if I had a daughter that was in her young 20s, like my oldest son is fixing to turn 22 this year. If I had a daughter at his age, I wish my daughter would come home thinking she can call herself a baddie and watch what happened. No, you are not. That ain't how you was raised. You cannot, don't you ever think you call yourself that ever again. I definitely don't want like in my I got my youngest son. He's fixing to graduate high school in 2 months. 2 months. Ain't no way I'm gonna let my son get out here and think, not for 1 millisecond, that he gonna have to, you know, take everything that he learns, that he is learning and working for, to just spend it or throw it all away on a young girl just to keep her, just because, you know, the girl wants him to keep, to keep the attention. He think he has to pay to keep her attention. No, he don't. Oh, no, he will not. No, he will not. No. This is why I stand firm on what I'm saying, because I do not want this to happen, not to just my kids, but anybody out there who have kids, whether they not my family members, whether you don't even know me and you watch my content at all. This culture is trash. This culture is no good. And this culture is not benefiting no one. The only ones that it is benefiting is the ones that are pushing the narrative and making the money off of it. And if that ain't you, then you look, even if you making the money off of it, well, like I said, you reap what you sow. Because what goes around will come around. And that's on everybody, including me. So, look, get ready to get up out of here, man. It's about 8 o'clock where I'm at. I haven't ate dinner yet, so I'm finna try to find me something to grub on, something light, and get to working on the next episode. I'm gonna try my best to come up with some. I ain't gonna say to come up with a title, but I do have something that I want to speak on. I'm gonna do my best to try to get something done to put out again the following weeks. I like to try to stay on a week to week basis. But I may take a couple. It just depends. It depends on how it comes to me. But this one, because this particular subject, I really didn't want to speak on that much, but it just it bothers me because um I don't want young women to be lied to, and y'all are being lied to. That's why you see a lot of these older women now, getting on these podcasts and they're settling, or now they talking about they don't want to be married because a man don't bring what they have already. No, that ain't the case. They just not look. That's not the case. I do not. You do not want to wind up. You do not want to wind up as you see some of these as you see some of these women speaking. You don't want to wind up like that. Not all of them, but I'm just saying a lot of y'all young women out here, and y'all, you don't want to wind up like that. I can assure you, you don't. Because some of these ladies that are on these podcasts speaking of talking about men, calling them brokies and all this stuff, they just bitter because the guy that they should have really had, they let him go or they threw him away because, they thought he wasn't going to be nothing. And he's off living probably a good life, a good stress-free, non-worried, non-headache life. And they'll never get that back. So, but yeah. But man, I'm finna get out of here. As always, it's your boy, Mr. GDK. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Truly, truly, thank you. Thank you for, taking the time out of your busy life to, listen to my perspective. Like I always say, man, stay prayed up because especially, this culture is attacking. It's not going to stop attacking. It's going to try to recruit and keep recruiting. As I always, stay humble. And, hey, to my married couples, before I get out of here, protect undefiled marriage bed. Protect it. Do not do your absolute best. Do not drift apart. Do not. Do not let the devil use this culture to tempt you when things are not going right in your marriage. Hold on to the fight. You are the power couple, just like I said. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. And it will be all right. But do whatever you do. Don't let your guard down with each other. Husband, do not let the guard down on your wife. Wife, do not let the guard down on your husband. Because as soon as you do, these particular women, these particular men will come, and they will try to destroy everything that y'all have worked and built for. Seriously. But keeping it 100. I'm out. It's your boy GDK, man. Love y'all. Y'all have a great, great day. Truly. Peace and blessings.